Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have an absolutely amazing show this evening, and I have been talking about this for 4 years. I've written about this in The Federalist. I have spoken to you endlessly about all of this, and first and foremost, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you for being amazing moderators. Ladies and gentlemen, really important, tomorrow and every day from now on, I'm going to have a 1 p.m. Pacific live stream. So Luke and Eric, if you are around, would be great to have you there, obviously. If you're free, if not, I understand, but you do so much on the 9 p.m. live streams, but set your clocks tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, for 1 p.m. Pacific every day from here on out. So I have a tradition on this channel, 9 p.m. Pacific on this channel. Every evening we have our great live stream, amazing live stream. We approach 1,000 people every night. Sometimes we've reached 2,000 people. But I am going to have, if you can make it, gentlemen, fantastic. If not, all good. But be here, everyone. 1 p.m. Pacific every single day. Now, if there's a day for some reason I can't do it, I'll let you know. If I have to change up the times, I'll let you know. But set your clocks to 1 p.m. Pacific on H.A. Goodman and then 9 p.m. Pacific on H.A. Goodman. So it'll be 2 live streams every day, and I'll probably try to follow up the first live stream with an upload right after. So awesome, Luke. Awesome. So be here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, everybody, and 9 p.m. Pacific. So you'll have 2 live streams 2 times in the day to just let off steam and try to evaluate and analyze and decipher what's really going on. I've been published in The Federalist numerous times. Federalist is a fantastic publication, and Rush Limbaugh actually shared three radio shows, or 2 or 3 radio shows. He shared one of my articles. And tonight I'm just going to say Golden Moo, Madam Secretary. But Madam Secretary, I basically asked in one of the articles, why is everything linked to Madam Secretary? The Steele Dossier, Alexander Downer, who had ties to the Clinton Foundation, Christopher Steele, Fusion GPS. You have Andrew McCabe's wife, who received money from Terry McAuliffe and super PACs, political PACs in Virginia. Terry McAuliffe is a huge Clinton loyalist. This isn't rocket science. Now, today, first of all, John Ratcliffe, I stated, and it's really kind of funny too, because nobody realizes this. Like, if you have James Clapper was the director of national intelligence. Nobody understands that he is privy to, and he had all the information pertaining to everything Brennan, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Klein-Smith, all of these people were doing. He had all the information. He compiled a report, the ODNI report, that said they were moderately to highly confident that Russia hacked the DNC and interfered in the election. They're not certain. CrowdStrike was outsourced by the Democratic Party. Okay? So thank you. Eric H526 has the article that Rush Limbaugh shared. So you got to ask yourself, okay, they created this elaborate farce, this elaborate charade, where national security, there's a couple issues that everybody has to understand about all of this, okay, that like Fox News doesn't really explain. One, the first issue is that national security has nothing to do with the DNC. So the DNC being hacked by Martians, Russia, by anyone is not national security. The DNC is a private entity. And in court, they said they can even have primaries that are completely fabricated, which they are having. You watch. Madam Secretary is going to swoop in. You watch. Biden is going to be usurped by the golden moo. You watch. But listen to this. This is very important. It is not national security to realize that we have Facebook ads purchased by Putin. That's not national security. And I'll get to that in a second. That's number one. Number two, the Steele dossier was not classified. John Ratcliffe declassified memos that were classified. So he took classified information and declassified the information. So John Ratcliffe took information that was part of the United States government and declassified the information. Okay? The Steele dossier was not classified, meaning that it was complete nonsense and completely fabricated and made up from day one. Okay? They utilized that to investigate President Trump and everyone around him. The Steele dossier was riddled with not only disinformation from Russia, which is really funny because the smartest people here are Putin. And the people who made him such a genius are Democrats. So, number one, it's not national security. Whatever happens to the DNC has nothing to do with national security. Number two, and because if it happened to the RNC, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. Christopher! Twitter is above the buzz that Christopher Wray stepping down tomorrow. If he is, that would be absolutely fantastic. That'll be even more reason to have the 1 p.m. I haven't. Let me see. Maybe not tomorrow, but probably President Trump. See, Christopher Wray was hired right after Comey, and he hasn't even been that much different from Comey. But Christopher, thank you so very much. I gotta look into that. That's interesting. To my super chat, thank you. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people, and I appreciate your support, Christopher. Thank you so very, very, very much, Christopher. Crescent! Eddie Van... Oh, my God. Why didn't I hear about this? What's wrong with me? That's horrible. I love Van Halen. Oh, my God. What's wrong with me that I didn't hear about this? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is terrible. Eddie Van Halen passed the day today, sadly. Even more sad is that. Crescent, what have they said? Crescent, thank you so very much. Hello, Pat. How have they politicized this? I have no clue how the left would politicize this. What is, how did they, it's like, how on earth can this be politicized? Donald Trump is deranged. Who needs to have his keys to the country taken away? Who are these no-name actors? This is hilarious. These are people who, oh my God, I'm looking at this like these, like how do you fit an anti-Trump message to Eddie Van Halen passing away? What is wrong with me where I didn't hear about this today? Oh my God, Van Halen. I love Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen, one of the great guitarists, great musicians of all time. He really is. Oh my God, that's so horrible. That is so horrible. He had cancer. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. But yeah, thank you, Crescent. Yeah, I mean, how do you politicize that? They find a way to politicize that. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Love Van Halen. It's such horrible news. Love the band and love Eddie Van Halen. He was fantastic. He was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. It's not national security, number one. It is not national security to investigate the DNC being hacked. Number two, well, I mean, and part of that is they outsourced CrowdStrike, which was linked to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party paid a third-party tech firm to say that Russia hacked the DNC, and when asked for evidence, nobody has any evidence. The whole thing was the biggest setup of all time, and they can't admit that because they're like, Trump owes money, Trump owes money. Even if that were true, which they haven't even proven that, do the Clintons owe Uranium One for pumping money into the Clinton Foundation? See, the correlation never equals causation when it's the Democrats. But you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the biggest issue is that it's not national security. If let's just say the tables were turned and it happened to Republicans, the RNC was hacked by another country, they would not care. So that's number one. Number two is you cannot investigate a president based on a Steele dossier that is not classified. You can't start investigations based on documents that aren't classified. And if you utilize a document that's not classified and it's linked to Trump's direct political rival, see, because apparently President Trump doesn't have any direct political rivals. The only people who have direct political rivals are Madam Secretary Biden, all of these people. So the phrase direct political rival doesn't exist when it's Trump. So it's like okay, you utilized a Steele dossier that was literally purchased by Clinton. Now we're finding out. I want to say Steele, Golden Mumu from here on out, or Madam Secretary, but the Golden Mumu purchases a dossier that then the United States intelligence community utilizes. This cannot happen. It cannot happen. Like, if President Trump purchased a document that was utilized by the United States intelligence community, the Democrats would be outraged. You would hear their cries of disbelief throughout the universe. So you cannot utilize. So number two, you cannot utilize a document that's not even classified. It's not even important enough to remain secret. It's published in a left-leaning publication that was sued for libel, and the only reason it got out of the lawsuit was because the judge said, "Well, it's a government investigation, so the government used it, so therefore the publisher can publish it." It's like, so you can publish anything, you can publish libel as long as the government is using libelous information, which means that Carter Page has to sue the United States government and others have to sue the United States government. But the issue is that John Ratcliffe had to declassify information. He had to declassify information that stated that the Golden Mumu authorized the plan. So Madam Secretary authorizes a plan. How does that work? How does that work where you have input from Trump's direct political rival? I want to know this. Be here, ladies and gentlemen, at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So we're going to have the best late evening live stream and the best afternoon live stream in all of YouTube. But I want to know how you can declassify notes written by Brennan and others, and then the Golden Mumu's or Madam Secretary's one of her spokespeople says, "Oh, it's total garbage." He used the word bull, and the rest. But how do you then? They're saying now, this is really interesting. They're saying now that Putin managed to infiltrate the United States intelligence community through John Ratcliffe and then spread disinformation. On a side note, and we'll get to that nonsense in a second, but on a side note, why are they so obsessed? Like, I'm going to give you the answer, but why do you think they're so obsessed with disinformation, with people believing something they don't want them to believe? Because they don't have ideas, they don't have any policies, they don't have any inspiring message. When they go after Trump, they say, well, you know what, he's being irresponsible and careless, he's a danger. And these people they obsess with him. They think that his personality, his words, are the beginning of an authoritarian rule. They're completely clueless. They think his policies are so cruel. You couldn't find more cruel policies than President Obama's policies. They're so cruel I can't even go into them on a live stream. Really, you can't. I could read articles that would not be the Senate report on what President Obama allowed in his administration regarding immigration. I can read, if you read the report, then, it would be against YouTube policies. If I truly read what was taking place in Libya because of President Obama's foreign policy, human beings are being bought and sold. And there are other atrocities taking place. To this day, close to 10 years ago, President Obama and NATO, the wonderful NATO, engaged in a failed intervention. So we can go on forever. We can go on forever with President Obama's policies to fund rebels that then chopped off the heads of human beings, of young people in that region of the world. And this is President Obama funding these rebels. I mean, I could read the articles, but then, of course, they would be against YouTube policies. You couldn't find a more cruel foreign policy and a more cruel domestic policy than President Obama's. Wicked, cruel, nefarious, insidious. You can use all these terms that, and who is going after Trump? It's Hollywood, the epicenter of depravity and cruelty and just the most immoral, unethical people. Hollywood. We have to, if Hollywood is the new morality, if people in Hollywood are these ethicists that can tell us what's moral and what's immoral, yeah, we're in really bad shape as a world. So President Trump is a million times better than President Obama, and I could debate anyone on that because I come from the left. I know their value system. I know what they can't accept, that they hide under the rug. Media today, for example, the exhumed body, the Botox cadaver was in Miami. Okay? This is how I know that dorsal fin ain't flipper. And Madam Secretary is just right. There's chum in the water. And she's right about to do her thing. He goes, this is the New York Post is the only place that reported this. Okay? He goes to young, he goes to like teenagers who were dancing. And Biden goes, I'm going to be... He goes, I'll be back, and then they clap. Everyone claps because, like, they're like, oh, okay, great. This person, this Democrat's going to be back. Okay, he's like, I'll be back in 4 years. Okay, I'll be back, meaning like once they're legal. Hold on, I have to read this. This is just hilarious. Biden, these beautiful young ladies. He's like, so this is hilarious, and of course, nobody catches on to this. We'll get back to John Ratcliffe in a second, but he goes, "This is bad news." So this, he goes, "The good news is for me, I'm here. The bad news is for you, I'm coming back." What does that even mean? And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older. Biden pointed, sparking. So it's like so bizarre. This is so bizarre. And you have like, you have, and everyone, this is great too. Like, they're being really, really cautious, and I get it, but everyone's on their little circle here. I'm looking at this. It's like, even if look, let's assume it's responsible. The average American doesn't want to see this. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. But like, you would think if Trump said this, oh my God, how dare him, oh my God, look what he's doing, he's disgusting, he's depraved, oh my God, Mr. Tug applied for, take this and get some heat because you look cold, keep it up, God bless, thank you, Mr. Tug applied for, thank you. And you know what's funny too, it's like, Mr. Tug applied for, everybody here, it's not that I'm like in Antarctica. It's that I just, because I speak for, if I'm going to speak for time, I'm going to try to go 2 hours, like a legit 2 hours tonight, because this is pretty awesome, pretty important. And it's just when you speak a long time, you got this little warm and toasty thing I'm wearing. By the way, I have new ones, new Ushankas that are awesome. You will love the new Ushankas. I got them embroidered like this one. They're pretty hilarious. They look pretty awesome. But Mr. Tuck applied for, thank you. Thank you very much. But this man cannot, look, Mr. Tuck applied for, everyone here. It's like Trump, whatever the man does, it's taken to this extreme absurd level. Like now they're saying that, and by the way, God bless Eddie Van Halen and his family. He's just amazing. He was amazing. He was an amazing man, and his guitar playing, his music, songwriting, everything was just so amazing. So amazing. He was just one in a million. Eddie Van Halen was one in a million. When they lose, they're going to lose on November 3rd. Okay? All of this is going to come out. All of this is going to come out. More so than ever before. More so than ever before. All of this is going to come out, and all of this is going to be investigated. This is part of the Durham probe. Then we have Operation Legend that's even more important than the Durham probe. Then we have all the investigations. That are about to happen pertaining to the election fraud that they're almost certainly going to engage in. Mr. Tag applied for it. Thank you. Alligator and top hat, yes. Yes. Alligator and top hat, thank you so very much. I love that. One of the great names in this channel. Like I said, they could go ahead and nominate an alligator and a top hat, and you wouldn't, and they would say, they wouldn't mind vote. The polls would say that the alligator and the top hat is doing better than excuse me, better than President Trump. Sorry, excuse me. That the elevator and the alligator, now I'm saying elevator in the top hat, alligator in the top hat would outpoll President Trump because Democrats are so apoplectic. Alligator and top hat, one of the great names on this channel. Thank you. Let's just read this. There's a Federalist article right here. So, I mean, the two biggest issues are it was never national security to begin with. Alligator and top hat, thank you. And number two, you can't start investigations on information that isn't even classified. Like, if it's a crime that takes place, there was no predicate crime. There was no predicate crime. There's nothing that took place, ladies and gentlemen, to say, okay, Watergate, for example, was a break-in. There were people arrested. There was a location, the Watergate building, the DNC headquarters, broken into. It was a crime. And it was a crime with people who conspired to commit a crime. Then there was a cover-up of a crime, which is why Nixon did not resign because of the break-in. He resigned because of the cover-up and how he was related to the break-in. This is what they don't understand. Watergate was a break-in and a crime that was committed. Then there was a cover-up. Trump did not commit a crime. He won. And it's the only thing they think that Trump winning is a crime in and of itself. And it's not a crime. They think that any information that hurts Democrats helps Russia. There's no evidence that Russia fears Democrats. To the contrary. President Obama did not provide lethal aid to Ukraine. President Obama did not veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. And by the way, nobody really knows how many uranium mines within the U.S. are owned by the Russian government. And yellowcake uranium was shipped out of the country according to the New York Times and the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Bureau. I believe that's the name. Also stated, it went to Canada. So you have to ask yourself, these people have created a myth. Be here, by the way, 1 p.m. tomorrow, everybody. 1 p.m. tomorrow. These people have created a myth that makes no sense. It does not make any sense. Tulsi Gabbard has been groomed by Russia, according to Democrats. Jill Stein is an operative of Russia. Trump is Putin's puppet. Bernie Sanders was part of a Russian plot. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, that message board, do not listen to that message board regarding anything. My God almighty, it's already providing headaches for Trump. So, let's just read this. Okay, DNI declassifies handwritten notes from John Brennan. Okay, John O'Brennan. John O'Brennan. Trumpy. And then today on CNN, he was like, even if it was true, so what? What's the problem? We can investigate a potential infiltration and potential probing. They probed the United States, and we probed back. And we tried to probe Trump. Now he's probing us. I don't like to be probed. I'd rather do the probing. The U.S. intelligence officials were so concerned heading into the 2016 election that the Russians were aware and potentially manipulating. So this is interesting, too. They were thinking of setting up and framing Trump, but then they were like, oh my God, the Russians know that we're thinking of setting up and framing Trump as a Russian operative. So the whole thing was such a farce and a charade that they were afraid that Russia knew. Zero Manny, thanks HA. Thank you, Zero Manny. Thank you, Zero Manny. Zero Manny, thank you. Zero Manny, thank you so very much. So check it out. This is hilarious. Top U.S. intelligence officials were so concerned heading into the 2016 election that the Russians were aware of. By the way, the Cold War is over. These people are hilarious. The last political party on the planet that Russia would be afraid of are Democrats. Well, they're afraid of Democrats because Democrats want a strong NATO. Yeah, so they can intervene in countries and turn them into failed states like they did with Libya. Top U.S. intelligence officials were so concerned heading into the 2016 election that the Russians were aware and potentially manipulating Democratic presidential candidate Madam Secretary's plan to smear Donald Trump as a Russian agent that they personally briefed President Obama on the matter. Wow. Newly declassified Central Intelligence documents show. And by the way, you know who allowed this to take place? The director of Central Intelligence that President Trump, the director that President Trump nominated and confirmed, and the director that was confirmed, Haspel. So this is hilarious. See, you would never get this on John Brennan. My notes will remain my notes. You will not see the penmanship. You will not see the sheer beauty of the letters, the verbose nature of my notes. You will not see the verbosity of my notes. For example, my notes to Sally Yates and how much I love her. Is verbosity even a word? No, it's not, but I can make it up. Yes, it is, so I didn't have to make it up. The loquacity of my dialogue, the volubility of my thoughts, the garrulity of my sentiments. I'll show you volubility. So the man is writing notes. He's like, and this is what the notes say. It's like, just to let everybody know, here's a plot from Madam Secretary regarding setting up and framing Trumpy. Setting up and framing Trumpy. President Obama, do you want to do this? I speak in a mid-Atlantic accent because I feel that I'm not as classy as people expect me to be. Only the most people filled with class speak in this manner. Dr. Robert Sheely! Biden's like a car mechanic that has worked on your car for 47 years but says he needs 4 more years to fix it. Exactly. And he's like, yeah. And more money. Exactly. Dr. Robert Sheely, exactly. He's like, Lee Smith, thank you. He's like a mechanic that you go in for an oil change and he's like, we have to remove the entire engine. Sorry. Dr. Robert Sheely, thank you. Pizza Lana! HA, don't forget the 20% of U.S. uranium sold to Putin. Well, and this is the thing. Snopes was like, it was money flowing into the Madam Secretary's foundation, and then Pete Solano, thank you so very much. The main thing is that President Obama did not veto the sale. This is according to Snopes, the Bible of Democrats. Dolores, thank you. So this is according to Snopes. President Obama did not veto the sale, even though he should have. Pete Solano, thank you. Dr. Robert Sheely, thank you. RJP72. Governor of Northern Virginia announced he has... Exactly. How did authoritarian king of... Exactly, not a word. PJP72. The duplicity and the disingenuous nature of Democrats and media, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And they never will, just like they didn't report on Biden's very bizarre, weird phrase today. I cannot, let me tell you something right now. A day before, on November 2nd, I'm going to be saying, you know what? The dorsal fin ain't flipper, and you know what? They can't possibly be going with Biden, but if they do, I'm not going to ever say that this is even happening. My prediction stands. I cannot look at the exhumed body and say, yes, this is a presidential candidate. See, I am not judging Biden from the vantage point of a person who doesn't like the Democratic Party. And I'm not even judging Biden from the vantage point of his endless gaffes, not even gaffes, endless examples where he's one fry short of a Happy Meal, where he's one beer short of a six-pack, where he has one screw loose, where he has a whole bunch of marbles missing. I'm judging him from the vantage point that in 88 he was kicked out because of plagiarism. In 2008 he didn't even get 1% in Iowa. He got 0.8%. And just Helmut Norpoth. I mean, that's just one. Professor Helmut Norpoth is one of the reasons, but I wrote my article in 2017. But Helmut Norpoth predicted 2016, and he just recently stated President Trump has a 91% chance of winning. He's amazing. But that bolsters everything I'm saying. To say Helmut Norpoth 10 times, Helmut Norpoth, 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 Helmut Norpoth. I want you right now to say Helmut Norpoth 10 times. He's amazing. He's a professor at Stony Brook University. And but he has a primary model. It's very interesting. And I knew that Biden had no enthusiasm. I knew that Biden had absolutely no enthusiasm at all. But you got to ask yourself also, he was 4th place in Iowa, 5th place in New Hampshire, and a distant 2nd in Nevada. Okay, he got barely 8% of the vote in New Hampshire. That Professor Helmut Norpoth was talking about how you can't be a viable candidate for president if you get if you don't even reach 10% in New Hampshire in the Democratic Party. The reason Democrats chose Biden is because they did not think Bernie Sanders was a viable candidate. Now, one of the reasons they didn't think he was viable, had he won the first 3 primaries, he would have been viewed as a viable candidate. They cheated him in Iowa in 2020, just like they cheated him in 2016. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. Then they blamed Russia for 4 years, and we're finding out that this whole myth, this hoax, this charade, was set up. So officials also requested that Comey investigate Russian knowledge of Madam Secretary's smear operation. So they were afraid, as they were setting up and framing Trump, that to be a Putin puppet, that Putin would find out that Trump was being set up and framed to be a Putin puppet. Does that make any sense? Is that not convoluted enough? They were setting up Trump to be a Russian puppet, while at the same time they were afraid that Russian intelligence services knew their plan to create this elaborate, hilarious scheme. This is how inept, they're even inept at corruption. And, like, even when I was way on the left in 2016, 2017, 2018, I think by like the middle of 2018, I said, the heck with this, I'm voting for President Trump. I think it was around the middle of 2018. But you got to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, these people are so inept at corruption. On November 3rd, what is going to happen to the Democratic Party? You got to be here. 1 p.m. Pacific for the best. It's going to be 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. I'll have my live stream 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. So I'm starting a 1 p.m. Pacific live stream, all 900 people here. Be there. So I'll have a 1 p.m. and a 9 p.m. So I'll have two amazing live streams every day, and then I'll try to definitely, include an upload there also. Old school dad man, can we get the IA results, please? Exactly. Old school dad man. Thank you. They couldn't even get the results. They couldn't even get the results of their own primary, and then they want to talk about. Then they have the audacity to talk about democracy. They cheated in their own primary. They cheated and by the way, old school dad man, they don't have the popular vote, and they have state primaries. And in their state primaries, they don't even run by popular votes. They have run by like this lame mathematical equation that even Einstein wouldn't understand. In Iowa, I mean, they're such hypocrites, unbelievable. Then in Wisconsin, they had people wait in the rain during the pandemic, getting pelted by hail. And that's what they think of safety. But here, newly declassified handwritten notes. So I would love to know how Putin was able to go through the Director of National Intelligence to declassify these notes. Because we already know the Steele dossier was nonsense, and it was actually riddled with disinformation. So this is hilarious. All the news, all the headlines on this are like, ODNI publishes Russian disinfo. Unverified Russian disinfo. It's like, no, we know that this information correlates directly with what took place. They investigated Trump. They had to save face. Nobody, not even the left. Okay, Republicans and Trump supporters do not believe any of this. The left does not either. Even the I'm with her crowd people don't. Even the people on YouTube that are like hardcore Democratic Party loyalists don't believe this. Nobody believes Trump worked with Russia. Nobody. And the only people that do believe this are like, the Hollywood, like 80s celebrity type, Children of the Corn, cult, worship the Democratic Party type people. So, newly declassified handwritten notes from Donald Brennan show that U.S. intelligence community knew in 2016 that Russian intelligence was actively monitoring and potentially injecting disinformation into Madam Secretary's anti-Trump collusion narrative. The intelligence concerning Russia's knowledge of Madam Secretary's campaign plans was so concerning to Brennan and other national security officials that they personally informed President Obama of the matter in the Oval Office in the summer of 2016. So in the summer of 2016, President Obama, everybody knew. And this was his own intelligence services. And he knew that Clinton was behind all of this. The handwritten notes from Brennan were declassified by the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, and provided to Congress on Tuesday afternoon. According to declassified notes, Brennan and the U.S. intelligence community knew months prior to the 2016 election that the collusion smear was the result of a campaign operation hatched by the campaign of Democratic presidential candidate Madam Secretary. Quote, we're getting additional insight into, this is Brennan, we're getting additional insight into Russian activities from Redacted. Site alleged approved by Madam Secretary on July 26th of approval from one of her foreign policy advisors. Donald Trump to vilify. Foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump. Look up the word vilify. Vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security services. As the Russian security services are investigating this hilarious plot. So this is absolutely hilarious. I mean, this is really absolutely hilarious. Pete Solano! Biden changes from no malarkey to build back better. It kind of sounds like Make America Great Again. Every time I hear that, I think of Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, but in a different way, written with crayon. Pete Solano! That's awesome. That's awesome. Don't accuse me of writing with crayons. I use only the most supple felt-tip pens, created from the feathers of newly born doves, nurtured with the milk of sea lions, and the calligraphy that I write is unsurpassed in the annals of history. That's John Brennan. Pete Solano, thank you. Pete Solano, thank you. Yeah, every time I see that, it's like, build back better? I think Baby Got Back. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Crescent. Let me see if I can find Crescent. Okay, hold on one second. Crescent, let me see. Eric H. Oh, Crescent. Any proof of Christopher Wray? I didn't. Yeah. I didn't see anything. I don't see anything about Christopher Wray online. Pete Solano. Pete, I know. It's so bizarre, too, isn't it? It's so bizarre. And it's just so bizarre. No, who believes that, too? Because they can't say Make America Great Again. So they're like, we're really going to, buy American. And, but not in a xenophobic way, you know what I mean? Not in a way that Trump says buy American, because that's xenophobic, But when we say it, it's not. And, yeah, come on, man, build back better, man, come on. I'm going to be back, ladies. I'm going to be back in 4 years. Waka, waka, waka. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Vote for me, everybody. Come on now. People now. Smell on your brother. Come on. You're the worst president we've ever had, man. Trump at Walter Reed looks healthier than Biden on his best day. Biden looks like there's people in their 70s that look fantastic. There are people in their 80s that look fantastic. Like you could see, like the skin just doesn't look old. Biden looks old. He looks tired. And he slurs his speech and he's bumbling and stumbling, and that's not even mean. Like he just doesn't communicate in a concise manner. They talk about President Trump has a personality. It's different. Trump has a New York personality. He'll say things like, you want to see, you want to see, getting up in the polls. I'll talk to you about, moving up in the polls. You want to see that? How about 2%? How about 2% Lindsey Graham? How about Lindsey Graham 0%? Huh? He said this during the Republican debate. Lindsey Graham made the very bad mistake, the very horrible mistake of going up against Trump. And then he's like, how about 0% Lindsey Graham? 0%, huh? You want to talk about low polls? You want to talk about polls that don't exist? How about Lindsey Graham? 0% Lindsey Graham, 2% Lindsey Graham, 0%. And of course, after that, poor Lindsey was done. Hi-fi trucker, but Biden doesn't, that's not his. He's just bumbling and stumbling everywhere. Hi-Fi Trucker. Noticed a huge sign off of I-5 just north of Sacramento. Democrats for Trump. Yes. Let me tell you. Hi-Fi Trucker. There are so many secret Trump supporters in California. And, you know, there are so many secret Trump supporters. It's unbelievable. It's true. Hi-Fi Trucker. It's true. And you have to, it's almost like, can I tell you, it's almost like, you know, we all need like a secret handshake or something, or like a wink, or like some kind of, you know, like, yes, brother, yes. So, like some kind of like, the eagle flies in the morning? Yes, me too, yes. We need some kind of like, message, secret code. Hi-Fi Trucker, very nice. Thank you, Hi-Fi Trucker. Thanks for everything you do, transporting goods and everything you do. Truckers have really one of the toughest jobs on the planet. I mean, you have to drive safely, you have to be on the roads forever, and you have to do your thing, and we don't have commerce and capitalism cannot survive without Hi-Fi Trucker and everybody here. You know, you can't put food on your table without people like Hi-Fi Trucker. So thank you, Hi-Fi Trucker. Jay Dillinger! H.A. Didn't Comey say he can't remember, but Brennan noted that J.C., the former FBI director, looking at 20 years. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Jay Dillinger, thank you. Jay, they're all contradicting one another. They're all and you know what's interesting too? I saw on Fox News today where they were asking Comey, like, do you remember this? He's like, I can't recall anything like that. It's like, well, what about that note that Brennan sent you? You can't recall the note? You can't recall the note, but you can remember that Attorney General Loretta Lynch told you to call the Clinton email investigation a matter and not a criminal probe, but you can't recall the note? Jay, thank you. It's true. It's like you can't remember anything. Like, that's okay. You are under oath. So you mean to tell me you're the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation? You can't remember something that Brennan told you? I specifically wrote to Comey, my good friend, my buddy, Comey, my best friend forever. My bestest friend forever, Comey. You can't remember a note, Comey, that says to you, from Central Intelligence stating, you can't remember a note from Central Intelligence stating exactly what was, that all of this was contrived and set up? That all of this was contrived and set up by Madam Secretary? That's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Thank you, Jay Dillinger. Thank you so very, very much. Yeah, I mean, that's perjury. That is perjury. I agree with you. That is what is called perjury. And it's like, if you're the director of one of those intel agencies and you say, well, I can't remember, you can definitely remember, but you're hiding. You are hiding. You're hiding the truth. Of course he can remember. Of course he can remember, but he just doesn't want to admit that they were all in on it. Jay Dillinger, thank you. Thank you, Jay. Please be here, Jay, on November 3rd. Everyone, please be here on November 3rd. It is going to be the most amazing time in the history of the internet, because the meltdown, like this, they don't get it. Twitter is not designed for this. Like, social media is not designed for their meltdown. It's not going to. The platforms are not designed for their absolute catastrophic meltdowns when they lose again. Hi-Fi Trucker, Jay, thank you. Crescent! Oh, wow. Bipartisan confirmed Puerto Rico Governor Wanda Vasquez Garcet endorsed President Donald Trump. Oh, wow. That is huge. That is huge. Let me read this. Let me see. Endorsement. Please make this a priority and vote in person. Absolutely. Oh my God, that is actually a monumental endorsement. That is fantastic. Wow. This is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. Puerto Rico governor endorses Trump. Very nice. Beautiful. This is very important. Puerto Rico governor. I'm telling you. I've been telling you, Latinos and Hispanic voters are going to give President Trump the election. Puerto Rico Governor Wanda Vasquez Garcet on Tuesday, through her support, she's Republican, behind President Trump, bid for a second term and called on Puerto Ricans to cast their votes for him on Election Day. I ask all Puerto Ricans who are listening to go vote. They have to go vote. So yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, this is fantastic. That's huge. Crescent, thank you so very much. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. And you're looking, ladies and gentlemen, at I just don't see any chance for Democrats to win because they don't have the support among Hispanic and Latino voters they once had. They don't have the support among Black and African American voters that they once had. You know, if it gets to 86%, because President Obama got 90 to 93% of African American and Black voters. Clinton only got 88%, which is still the most of any group in the United States. Hispanic voters, it was 70%, and then about 72%, then 28% Trump. Now, if it goes above 30%, and the interesting thing is, 14 to 15% of Black men voted for Trump in 2016. The reason I think in aggregate it was 8% of Black voters is because something like 1% or less than 1% of Black women voted for Trump. But if you get 10%, if Trump gets 12 or 13% of the Black and African American vote, or 14%, Democrats are done. Like, if it just goes to 14 to 15%, let's say their support among Black and African American voters goes from 88% to 84, 83%. Democrats are done as a political party. Done. Because they spent all of 2016 saying, the Caucasian women are going to go towards Madam Secretary. And then they found out that it was, 52%, 53% went to Trump. So they're always wrong in everything they say. It's pretty unbelievable. Crescent, thank you very much. Thank you, Crescent. They are done. They are pretty much done as a political party. After November 3rd, because there's a zero support. You have to have enthusiasm. People are enthusiastic about President Trump. So this is interesting. The notes appear to have been prepared by, and so Susan Rice was there. President Obama's chief of staff was there. James Clapper. They all responded. President Obama asked if there was any evidence of collaboration between Trump campaign and Russia. Of course there wasn't. Also suspected earlier that many key claims underpinning the collusion narrative could themselves be the product of deliberate Russian disinformation. Last week, Ratcliffe released a declassified memo based in part on Brennan's notes, noting that Russian intelligence was aware of Madam Secretary's plan, increasing the likelihood that it would be tainted by disinformation. So, what on earth is President Obama's administration doing? Addressing and acknowledging that Madam Secretary wanted to investigate Trump. Crescent, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the governor of Puerto Rico endorsing President Trump is huge. Absolutely huge. I believe they had a different governor in 2016. Puerto Rico governor. Yeah, they had a governor in Puerto Rico that endorsed Clinton in 2016. So, yeah, I mean, this is absolutely huge. Crescent, thank you. David Von Kettering! Eric told me super chat. Eric, tell everyone. Tell everyone. David, it's always a pleasure to have you on all the time. Thank you so very much, David Von Kettering. And thank you. David Von Kettering, thank you so very much. Eric told me to super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, also be here 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. We're going to have 2 of the best live streams. It's going to be a left and a right. It is going to be the 2 best live streams on YouTube. David and everyone here. And Big Chris. When the Dems lose in November, they would have proven to the entire world they can't even cheat right. They'd melt down compilations. The compilations, my God. The compilations alone. Big Chris. The compilations will be euphoric. They will be so beautiful, I'm going to go to sleep to them. I'm just going to be like, Big Chris, thank you so very much. Please be here to party with us safely, happily, responsibly, and in the most awesome manner on November 3rd, because it's going to be fantastic. I would not want to be next to any Democrats on November 3rd. I'll tell you that right now. Big Chris, thank you as always, Big Chris. Hope all is well. Michael Cornelio, thank you, Michael, for your generosity always, yesterday and today. Thank you so very much, Michael. I live in California. Comey for so many. Yep, that's true. I agree with you. I was born in Hawaii. Wow. Michael Cornelio. Even more crazies there. Wow. Yes, you know what? Can I tell you, Michael? Thank you very much, Michael. I loved Senator Hirono's, when she was she called Trump the grifter in chief. She called Trump the grifter. She called the president the grifter in chief. And this is what was hilarious is Michael and everybody here. It was even, hold on, where is the... And she called Trump the grifter-in-chief. Senator Hirono speaks in a very matter-of-fact tone. So it's, Trump, who spawn of Satan. Trump is related to the Prince of Darkness and the Great Deceiver. Hold on. Let me see if I could find this grifter in chief. But they talk about, they should tell, here. They talk about the decorum. America deserves better, you should resign. This is to William Barr. This is so hilarious. This is just so hilarious. Michael, thank you so very much. I just found that to be hilarious. I just found that to be so bizarre for her to say this. for the grifter and liar. Oh, you call him the grifter and liar who sits in the Oval Office. But you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, the beauty. The grifter and liar sits in the Oval Office. It's just so matter of fact. I just love it. They think if they step up the rhetoric and they engage in the most bizarre hyperbole that like everything's okay. But it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay. This is like they don't understand that like they don't understand that like they don't get that the hyperbole, like you can't manufacture contempt. This is something that Democrats need to learn, that you cannot manufacture contempt within the span of 4 years. Like suddenly they couldn't stand Trump. Suddenly Trump is a racist Russian Putin puppet who is going to end the planet, but they were watching him on The Apprentice for a decade. But they definitely want to save the world from Trump, but they were watching him on The Apprentice. But they definitely want to save the world. You better believe that. But they were watching him on The Apprentice for a decade. And he was in music videos or songs, and he had cameo appearances on movies. So it's like, and he was like interviewed, and Barbara Walters, and so it's like he's part of Americana. He was on every talk show, every single talk show, late night talk show. You have the smartest people on the left saying, "Oh yeah, please go ahead and run, Trump. Please go ahead and run." Michael Cornelio, thank you so very much again, Michael. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated, Michael. Thank you. There are so many secret Trump supporters. It's unbelievable. Like in California, you wouldn't believe how many people can't simply show support for the candidate because of the apoplectic, violent, completely irrational reaction of Democrats. I mean, this is a completely irrational reaction. Excuse me. It's an irrational, counterproductive reaction. Take Epiphany! I'm afraid Trump is done. He missed out so many easy wins lately. That backfire. Keep it up, H.A. Tech Epiphany, I respectfully disagree. I think he's going to win. They have no chance. Dems have no chance, especially if they are so inept and they go with Biden. Tech Epiphany, thank you so very much. I respectfully disagree, but Tech Epiphany, thank you. Michael Cornelio, thank you as always, sir. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it's really bizarre. The good thing, though, is that in California, I know that there are so many Trump supporters that just can't be public. Tech Epiphany, thank you. I'm afraid Trump is. I don't think so. My prediction is that Trump goes 8 years. That's the biggest. That's the biggest. The biggest prediction here. Tech Epiphany, thank you so very, very much. So, Frill Declassified and released by Ratcliffe shows that it was personally addressed to both Comey and Strzok. So Comey then doesn't know because, it does not have legal authority to police domestic matters. It informed the Bureau of the agency's concern about potential Russian knowledge of Madam Secretary's campaign plan to smear Trump as a Russian asset, especially given the FBI. So everyone knew. This is really interesting. You have the United States intelligence services that are supposed to only focus on national security. And they only focus on national security. I mean, they're only supposed to focus on national security And instead of focusing on national security, what they do is they allow President Trump's direct political rival. So don't you love that? Like, he has a direct political rival. And it's the Golden Moo-Moo. But of course, it's not, you never hear that. You never hear the phrase direct political rival when it's Trump. You just never hear that phrase when it's Trump. So, it's just really interesting. It's really interesting, the selective type of memory they have. Julio, you! Donald J. Trump has leverage now, so Joe. I think that Madam Secretary Julio Yu is going to jump in. I mean, any moment, any day, any week, a week before the election, because they figure you have to understand, like, when they probably think, look, we had a Comey letter a week before the election. We can have a Madam Secretary switcheroony a week before the election. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The way they look at it is the following. Like, they're trying to... I don't see how they could possibly... Number one, I don't see how Madam Secretary and Bubba Bill... Hi, everybody, how are you? I don't see how they would cede control of the Democratic Party to bumbling, stumbling, exhumed body. I just don't see that. I don't see that, because if you go ahead and allow Biden, let's just say in an alternate universe he wins, because there's no way the polls are even worse than they were in 2016. Okay? And you have polls that are showing now President Trump only down by 2 points, and then Biden up by 14 points, different polls like within a day. Same thing happened in 2016. You would have a poll that says Biden is up by 4, or you'd have a poll that says Clinton's up by 20, and then a poll that said that same day or the next day Clinton is up by 2. Kevin Burns! The left will pull out all stops as they know Trump will go scorched earth if he wins, because he won't have another election to win. Exactly. Can we get a Slick Willie impression? I just want to thank you, Kevin Burns, for saying pretty much exactly what I've been saying, and better than I could say it. And I just want to thank everybody. And I want to let everybody know in America I feel your pain, and I could feel more if you want me to. Kevin Burns! Thank you so very, very much, Kevin. Thank you. Kevin, thank you. Kevin Burns! Let's get ready to rumble! Kevin Burns, thank you so very, very much. And please be here. Michael Cornelio, Kevin Burns, please be here. Gentlemen and everybody here on November 3rd. Do-Re-Mi Music Honolulu! From now on, I should have their memories tested. Pretty much. They don't remember anything. Like, do you remember going to work? Gosh, I don't really remember that. Do you remember working for the government for 4 years, Comey? I don't remember. You were director. Do you remember being director? No, it doesn't ring a bell. You were the director of the bureau. Do you remember that? No. I don't remember. Do you remember President Obama's administration? Refresh my memory again. Do you know who Trump is? I don't know. No, I don't. Do-Re-Mi Music Honolulu. Thank you. Larry, I should only be so lucky. No, I'm just joking. Larry, hello. Dossier Music Honolulu, thank you so very, very much. Karen Man 100. At Trump's handling and puffing. Shuffling CBJ wouldn't be halfway across. Exactly. Well, this is what they're doing also. What they do is they make everything Karen Man 100, Kevin Burns, Michael, and everyone here. What they do is, Dossier Music Honolulu, what they do is the following. Anything Trump does, I mean literally anything that man does, they turn into this really bizarre, obsession. They're so obsessed with what Trump, he says, don't be afraid. He says, don't let it dominate your life. Oh my God. Oh my, he didn't say don't be afraid. He said, don't let it dominate your life. He said, don't let it dominate your life. How is that misconstrued as not being afraid? Pete Solano. That means Trump, we know they cheated using mail-in voting. Come on, man. They cheat, you know the deal. Exactly. You know what? I still am telling you, Pete, I believe Madam Secretary is going to be there. Like the old Michael Jackson song, I'll be there. I think that she's going to be there. My prediction stands. Biden has no support. At least when they pull the switcheroony last second, at least they'll be able to say, well, you can have the first female president. Because that's another thing. I don't think, Kamala Harris is a junior senator. She hasn't been at the top of the hierarchy of the Democratic Party ever. There's no chance at all that they are going to, walk the plank with Botox B, the exhumed body. They're not going to give Trump. See, okay, the polls, even who was it? It was Debbie Dingell, I think, in Michigan, and she was saying that she didn't believe the polls in 2016. She didn't believe the polls in 2016 representative in Michigan. She was saying she didn't believe the polls in 2016. And she doesn't believe the polls now. Now, the polls, ladies and gentlemen, there are polls coming out that aren't in the Real Clear Politics average for some reason. And it's like you don't, okay, the vice president that Biden picked did not even make Iowa and put Jamal Trulove, a black man, unjust incarceration of this man. Put him in prison for something he didn't do. A wrongfully accused innocent man. And she was at the sentencing, and her prosecutors put this man and so in prison, and he was innocent. And she fought payments to individuals who were wrongfully convicted of crimes they never committed. Then you have Biden with the 100-to-1 sentencing disparities. So 100-to-1 sentencing disparity. Okay, these are the structural injustices that people talk about. The structural injustices that people talk about are the injustices that Democrats themselves implemented. Pete Solano, thank you so very much. You know the deal, man. But see, the good thing is that you have people like James O'Keefe, William Barr. And it's like they're going to lose again. It's okay. You cannot have You cannot win anything, not even a sporting event, without enthusiasm and passion. Life is about passion and enthusiasm in what you do. Thank God I have the best viewers in all of YouTube, and I'm very appreciative of everyone here. Michael and everyone here, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, I'm appreciative. I look forward to speaking to everybody. And I'm going to speak to you all on 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. And 9 p.m. Pacific, so I'll have two. So I'm slowly heating up and ramping up, but I just wanted to make sure that if I pick a time that I do it, I can do that time every day. And so we're going to have a tradition on this channel, a 1 p.m. tradition and a 9 p.m. tradition. You can set your clocks. You could set your clocks to 9 p.m. and you have me in the evening. 1 p.m. you have my annoying personality in the afternoon, Pacific time. But I'm very lucky that I can speak to everybody here and talk about politics and all my writing and the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Daily Caller, the Federalist, the Jerusalem Post, the Times of Israel. Thank you, Robert Justice. Thank you so very much for the kind words. But Biden has you're talking about Trump. When he speaks, he's enthusiastic. He believes what he speaks. Biden is so, he's such a phony that, and he's like losing his marbles. So you have a phony who's a lifelong politician who's losing his marbles, and he doesn't evoke any passion or energy. Bernie Sanders does not fight. He's a human doormat, but he has passion and energy. The energy and passion is the following, I just want to let you know that Medicare for All and a Green New Deal is the only thing saving us from Armageddon and the destruction and the end of human civilization. Democrats are going to cheat you, Bernie, so they're not going to implement any of those. Oh, I just want to let you know that everything I just said, vote for Democrats who cheated me because I said so. By the way, if you got a small favor to ask of you, if you got $1, go ahead and give me the $1. I'll give it to Biden. Biden will give it to the Golden Moo. Elizabeth. I know nobody even enjoys this, but I do. Elizabeth, Lizzie. Hi, how are you? How are you, Liz? How you doing? Good. No, I'm fine. No, I just want to thank you for your help in 2020. Yeah. Thanks for, first of all, thanks for endorsing me in 2016. Very kind of you. Very, very, very nice of you to endorse me in 2016. Remember, Elizabeth, when I was up against the wall and I needed an endorsement from a politician who basically has exactly my platform? In fact, you stole my platform from me, but that's okay. Thievery is an example of what's the phrase? Mimicry is an example of fondness. Oh, I forgot exactly what it is. But yeah, so thanks. You wanted to do exactly the same things I did, and you endorsed me in 2016 and helped give me that push, that political help. Remember that? Oh, that's right, you didn't. You didn't endorse me, did you? You didn't endorse me, did you? And then what you did to make up for not endorsing me, you then said that I told you that a woman couldn't win the election. Wow. With friends like you, who needs enemies? Wow. What were you smoking, Lizzie, when you said that I said something I never said? Why would you tell people that I told you that a female could not win the election? I was specifically referring to the spawn of Satan, Madam Secretary. Why would you then misconstrue that to say that all women? Okay? And that's just the type of human being you are. Talking about things, making things up, talking behind my back. Like a backstabber. The OJ song was about you, Lizzie. They're smiling in your face all the time they want to take your place. That's okay. Oh, by the way, thanks for running in 2020. You cut my movement in half. It's now a gigantic bowel movement online. Thanks a lot. Kathleen Flaherty. Kathleen. DOJ with CNN National Security Conference starring Christopher Wray. They will say Trump cannot declass for national security reasons. Okay, so let me, Kathleen. Let's look at this. So, I'm typing in Christopher Wray right now. And so the Daily Beast, Trump wants to oust FBI Director Christopher Wray after the election. Trump plans to fire FBI Christopher Wray after the election. So this is what he should do is, well, probably wait until after the election. I don't know. Sam, thank you. I don't know, Kathleen, if... Well, I think that Wray works under Ratcliffe. So Ratcliffe can declassify anything he wants. I do believe that to be the case. But Kathleen, thank you so very much. I think that it's a matter of... I think it's probably a matter of... John Ratcliffe deciding what and when, what to declassify and when. So, I appreciate that. Kathleen, thank you so very much. Michael Cornelio, thank you again. Michael, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you look at, okay, let's look at, Biden said there shouldn't be a second debate if Trump is still positive. That's so hilarious. This is what a coward this man is. You're running for the leadership of the country. You would send in a neoconservative foreign policy, which you have, which the Max Boot and Bill Kristol Lincoln Project foreign policy. You would send American soldiers, men and women, off to never-ending counterinsurgency wars, but you don't want to be on the same stage. Why doesn't he just wear the mask? That'll protect him. What's the problem? And this man's unbelievable. I mean, you can't get it's one thing if you're a 70-year-old and you want to protect yourself, fine. But if you're running to be the head of the country, you're even afraid of a debate. And we know the problem because he got completely worked the first debate. He got demolished. The man got demolished. Just completely demolished. And he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to debate Trump. This is really hilarious. So, it's unbelievable. I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to look at I'm trying to look here at what they're saying about Biden. So I'm typing Biden 2020, hashtag Biden 2020. The man visits Gettysburg. He's like, here's a mouse, 4 scored. Who scored? What's the score of the game? What's going on here? Who scored what? I'll tell you what, I'll score, man. Come on now, man. Come on, man. Stop the malarkey, man. Come on, man. Lakers 3-1. Congratulations to the Lakers. 3-1. Nice. I was saying they're going to win the championship. I've been saying that for a while now. Very nice. Very nice. Game 6 is Sunday. Very nice. Oh, sorry. Game 5 is Friday. Wow. Wow. This man is at Gettysburg. It is so hilarious. You go from Lincoln to hey, man, come on, man. Come on, man. 4 score, come on. And then you have these people who you have the left is like just late night talk show hosts who are obsessed with Trump, corrupt intelligence chiefs. Like, I'm looking at Biden 2020 on Twitter. I can't find anything like. There's like zero passion. There's like nothing. You think that you could break like 1,000. I mean, getting retweeted, like Bernie Sanders proved that it means nothing. Getting retweeted means nothing, but Biden, like, you have to have some kind of presence. I'm looking at some memes that I can't even bring up. It's kind of hilarious. This is really hilarious. This is actually really hilarious. There is no enthusiasm for this man. I mean, there's zero enthusiasm. They can't possibly be so they're going after Kanye West now for like under the guise of fraudulent signatures, and then they're pushing mail-in voting. Got it. And then they say Trump shouldn't have said, don't be afraid of the pandemic. He never said that. He never said that. That's another thing that he never said. It's pretty unbelievable how they can't quote this man. It's pretty unbelievable. Like, it is really unbelievable how they cannot quote this man correctly. He never said, don't be afraid of the pandemic. He never said that. It's pretty unbelievable that they're going there. It's just like they're completely delusional. When they lose again, they're going to say, why didn't the world trust our delusions? Oh my God. Our delusions are just delusions now. Ladies and gentlemen, PH Authority. Thank you, PH Authority. Thank you. PH Authority. Thank you. It's so bizarre how it is so bizarre how, like, I look at this election and I'm saying there's no way that this is actually happening. There is no way that this is actually happening. And then when they lose, they're going to say, they're not going to believe. They are not going to believe that their world, their political world's like crashing down. It's pretty unbelievable that you have Democrats who had primaries during the pandemic. That was okay. It's pretty unbelievable that you had governors putting infected people in old age homes. You have 7 of the top 10 states in 2 different statistics, per capita and the aggregate lives lost, all Democratic-run states during the pandemic. But they sweep all of that under the rug. They sweep all of it under the rug. If you can't, look, and I've had the unfortunate experience of this, when you get into a debate with a rabid, like children of the corn, frothing at the mouth Democrat, and don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. You give them facts and they tune out. You answer their questions like, why are you voting for Trump? And you like give them reasons, they tune out. And they just go back to like the same nonsense. The same nonsense that they've been fed by media. Like, they've literally made up quotes because the quotes from Trump they can't utilize to fabricate contempt. They have fabricated contempt. That's what they do. They fabricate contempt. Oh, and now, oh my God. Now AOC is going after Tulsi Gabbard. That's like that is like I'll tell you, it's like the story when I was at my uncle's house with the little bunny rabbit and the hawk, and I saw at my uncle's house for 4th of July. He lives in the mountains, and there was a nice little bunny rabbit. He was jumping, and I'm like, oh, look at that rabbit, and it was like on a little garden there. Oh, look, and then from out of nowhere, you get this falcon, and just sunk its long talons into the bunny rabbit and flew it away. Okay, so this is really hilarious. So AOC's going after Tulsi Gabbard. You, along with everyone else who amplified this fraudulent story. Why is it a fraudulent story? Why is it a fraudulent story? Then it's it's interesting. They're saying that it's fraudulent because one of the people who blew the whistle was offered money. Hello, you think Christopher Steele wrote the dossier for free? This is hilarious. This is really hilarious. Oh my God. The infighting now is going to be just so interesting. I mean, really interesting. Then James O'Keefe is like, yeah, we stand by everything, so I don't know what you're talking about. Wow. do some research on your own, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on. I'm not going to go too into it. But this story is, that's why, that man is in his 30s. These are all, O'Keefe is, the one millennial that understands how to break the dysfunctional millennial matrix on the left. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And then he goes, we stand by our reporting. Wow. Not a chance. AOC Project Veritas stands by our reporting. We've issued a retraction request. We look forward to winning the ensuing lawsuits. We don't flinch and we're not intimidated. We're over the target. So, okay, let's see. What are they saying now about this? Why is there a retraction here? Okay, so retraction regarding what? All right, so this is interesting. So, what is... Okay, so let's see. Oh my God, they're now they're going to they're talking about this is all over the place now. I can't even get into it. You could do research on it, but this is really, really interesting. This is really interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I think that I'm running out of steam right now. But thank you, everyone. God bless. Be here, everyone, tomorrow. Be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. Oh my God! Now they're saying that the translation of the conversation that actually talked about ballot harvesting was really about a demonstration, not harvesting. It's bizarre. I don't know. This is hilarious. Give me your thoughts below, ladies and gentlemen. Be here tomorrow, people. Please be here tomorrow. Do Re Mi Music Honolulu. Do Re Mi Music Honolulu. Thank you so very, very, very much. People, I will have a live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. and we'll do a 1 p.m. live stream every day Pacific, 9 p.m. every day Pacific on this channel. Please be here for the live stream. It'll be about an hour. This is close to 2 hours every night, but the first, thank you, everyone. The first 1 p.m. live stream will be about 1 p.m. Pacific. It'll be 1 hour or so, and so we'll have 2 live streams every day. 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Pacific. 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Pacific. Be here tomorrow at 1 p.m., everybody. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Ariel, thank you. And everyone here, thank you. God bless you all. See you at 1 p.m. tomorrow, everyone. Tell your friends. Tell everybody you know about the 1 p.m. Pacific and the 9 p.m. Pacific live streams. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. People, I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Thank you very, very, very much. This was fantastic. Thank you.